So today's guest has worked for the likes of APG, Asendia, globally, just to name a few in the international logistics and cross-border space. She's now currently in a consultancy role in the SaaS arena. And we're going to talk about how to win large-scale enterprise business, how to scale global sales teams, and just some of the trials and tribulations that she's faced during her career. So let's get into it. Laetitia, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
How was your trip down from London?
It was very smooth.
Yeah.
No drama, no delay on the train, so all good.
Happy days. No,
Happy
massively appreciate you taking the time to come and talk with me. And I wanna kick it off with a bit of a deep question. So, at what point in your career did you know that you were going to be a major business leader? And at what point in life were you at as well?
That's a big question. To be honest, I never really analyzed it such a way.
Mm-hmm.
I always took the next challenge. In my head, I was always thinking, I can do better. I can do more.
Yeah.
And I'm a very I'm very bored very quickly. Like if I'm stuck in a role for too long, then I get bored, and then I think I need a new challenge.
Yeah.
It's more like, for me, being in a comfort zone is not really a great thing, because I start actually
I've got it.
Getting a bit over the place, and what always drove me is the next challenge.
Yeah.
And I never really looked back to actually consider, this is a big role. I'm going to be a sales leader. Even, to be fair, from the start, when I was a student, I would have never considered being a sales or even enter the sales function in all my life. I used to study biochemistry. But for some reason, it wasn't for me either, because I didn't want to end up in a laboratory and experiments things.
And did you start in the field of laboratory and then decide
I started there, but I always knew, like, marketing and sales was for me.
Yeah.
So I actually did a U-turn in a way in my studies, and I studied marketing and sales as a master.
Got you.
And then at some point I actually started in the pharmaceutical industry, because it made sense. It was a scientific background plus, like, marketing and sales. I could actually use all my skills.
Yes.
But yeah, eventually I ended up randomly in the logistics logistics world.
And what company were you at when you would say you achieved the leadership status? What company were you at?
At the time, I was working for Asendia. So I started my logistic career with La Poste back in Paris, then moved to the UK, started La Poste UK with 10 other people. So it was a very good feeling, because it was the startup mentality, where you start from scratch, you actually are very hands-on and really do a lot of things across different skills, different functions, but still backed up by a big corporate company, La Poste. Yeah. And then later on, La Poste became Asendia, so when they did the joint venture between La Poste and Swiss Post. And that's where really it kind of changed also, I think, my leadership status, where from like managing four people at the time, I took the role of managing the 35 people, salespeople. So that was a big deal for me at the time. Yeah, I was not even 30 or something.
I was going to ask. So, what was the title of the role that you took?
I was sales manager, but that it's more like a continental European way to say like sales director.
Got you.
But yeah, that was I was actually looking after 6 different teams, which have like 5 or 6 different people within those teams, and that's where I probably learned a lot about myself as well, and how I could best help all the people with their different personalities, different requirements, different ways of working as well.
It sounds like you almost thrive getting thrown into the deep end, because when I speak to business leaders and stuff, they typically go into managing one team, but then you've gone from direct sales to managing 6.
I did also like managing one team. Yeah.
Okay.
I did the transition, when it was at La Poste, and I had like 4 or 5 people at the time.
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
But from the 4 or 5 people, it became like 30, 35 people quite quickly.
No,
yeah.
Amazing. And in terms of life, so you mentioned age. How old were you, and like where were you at in life?
When it happened, I think I was like around my early 30s.
Yeah.
And I just came back from maternity leave, so I had a 3.5 months little baby with a 4-year-old older girl. So it was for me like a great opportunity, a great challenge, because it was also pushing me to balance and juggle with like my personal life.
Yes.
Looking after the kids, but also still evolve and grow with my professional career. So
got you. No, I'm sure they're proud of you, the little ones.
Yeah, but it couldn't have happened without my husband as well, because he was super supportive and very helping as well in the day-to-day life, which is still very much the case. So one of us has to also, step back a bit and
create the balance,
and be in the background a bit more. Yeah.
Got you. And is he in the industry, or is he?
No, he's not in the industry, although he's in the logistics industry, but more on the international removal industry.
Oh, right. Okay.
So,
cool.
Yeah, slightly different.
Makes for good pillow talk, I'd imagine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, brilliant. And in terms of challenges, or, is there anything you remember that was like, I've, wasn't expecting this, or this is probably the biggest challenge I faced, or maybe a feeling of failure when you first stepped into that role?
For me, the challenge, not so much as a failure, but the challenge was to get this constant seeking attention from people. So because you are managing 5 or 6 different teams, and also the people within those teams come to you to complain. I felt at some point it was overwhelming. I felt like I was the office of complaints, and people would just knock on my door, or not even knock on my door. They would just enter my office and say, "Oh, this is such and such happened, and this is a drama." For me, what I found it hard to manage at the time was dealing with the drama of people. And I got better at it, but it was a lot and almost too much for me at the time, because maybe I had also a lot to manage also from my personal life. So it was I found it hard to at first. Yes.
Yeah. And did you get much exposure to because I know within leadership there's usually layers. So at what point would you say that you reached your sort of height? You might say I've not, but what point would you say you've reached your height of leadership in your career so far?
So far, I guess when I left actually Asendia, I felt I didn't reach my ceiling, and someone else was there, so I had to move and start from somewhere else.
Got you.
And that's actually the trigger which made me join the APG at the time.
Yeah.
For me, I think APG was probably the highest reach in terms of my leadership when I became like a global sales director.
Yeah.
Where I felt I was content with the way things were going at the time, and also I was proud of myself of achieving not only like results, KPIs, revenue objectives, etc., but also achieving to have a good cohesion within the teams as well, because it's super important. You can have the best salespeople if they are just on their own. It's going to be a short-term win, but it's not going to be a long-term sustainable success.
Yes.
So being able to actually build those teams and they gel together, it's like a wall of bricks. You can have the best bricks, but if you don't have the cement between, the wall is weak. So for me, it was to be able to achieve this was a great success, and you could also tell, like from our customers, from our prospects, from the industry, everybody wanted to actually work with us at the time. So yeah, I'm super proud of this part of my life.
Yeah, no, absolutely, it's a huge accolade, and to help people maybe put into context, you know, the kind of role you had as global sales director. What was your remit at that time? You know, in terms of maybe corporate objectives, like, you know, revenue targets, or, you know, just to give some context.
So in terms of objective, so as a global sales director, I had a global revenue objective, a global new business objective. So and then I was actually responsible to split it across the different continents and the different teams.
Yeah.
And then we had also some side KPIs, which were like for everybody, like for instance, EBITDA results, because at the end of the day, as much as you want a revenue objective to be achieved, if you're not profitable, it's not relevant and defeat the purpose. So the key element was to drive sales, but also to be profitable.
Got you.
And one other side KPIs I had, because I am interested in this topic, is the sustainability. So I was driving the sustainability strategy with another couple of people at APG. So that was my side activity, but it was also one of my objectives and
passion
projects. Yes. And I feel like even though you are in a function, like whether it's sales, marketing, finance, it's good to actually be involved in other projects which touch upon like different types of functions and topics, because it also helps you mingle and interact with other people. Especially in big companies.
I hear you. And what would you say then, sustainability-wise, you know, you implemented at APG that perhaps lives on now?
Oh, their full ESG strategy is still on. Yeah. So now it's managed by other people, but we started the work and the basis maybe 5 years ago, and it was across three different elements. I think it was people, planet, and community. And although we really focused on what it means to have a sustainability strategy for APG, since it's also part of Australia Post, and Australia Post has a big ESG strategy as well. But for us, it meant something more important, because we were existing as APG. Nobody was really dealing with Australia Post in the UK or in Europe or in the US. They were dealing with us.
Yeah.
So we need to show like we also have something in place. And we actually worked on a lot of initiatives. And part of this initiative was to first, before doing carbon neutral or net zero, we need to know how much we actually spend in terms of carbon emissions. So that was actually a big work.
Yeah.
And we actually recruited some agencies very specialized in this. It was carbon offset or some carbon offset, and they helped us really working on the calculation of our carbon emission. And then the first thing was that. Then we thought like, okay, let's actually do some initiatives to reduce and to be able to compensate those carbon emissions. And let's also do the extra mile and share this with our customers.
Yes.
And share also what their impact is. So, okay, you're using APG today for Australia, for the US, for GCC. This is how much you are actually spending in terms of carbon emission with us. So that was the idea behind, like, to be able to share this information for the customers, for the retailers, to be able to maybe work on it as well together.
Yeah. And how would it help the retailer outside of just, feeling ethical about doing business with APG? Like, how would it affect a retailer? Like, would there be any advantages to the retailer, perhaps, to their wider vendors or suppliers, or, would it almost have a knock-on effect for the retailers to be able to do sort of wider partnerships and sales?
Yeah, I think at some point the retailers wanted the whole industry, the whole carrier industry, to be able to give them this kind of information, which at the time they couldn't.
Yeah.
So now I think it's getting better and better. But that at some point we actually won some business because of that, or thanks to that.
I was going to ask, who was was there a customer that you had in mind that really leaned into the sustainability part of the proposition?
ASOS was one of them, for instance. So ASOS was one of our key customers.
Yeah.
We developed actually also hybrid solutions and tweaked some of our existing solutions for them, because what happened is ASOS very early on asked us to be compliant with their sustainability strategy as well.
Yes.
And then we thought like, okay, they are using this company, we're going to use the same company and get better at it. And with these kind of customers, big enterprise customers, you kind of become better because they ask for a lot.
Yeah.
But in the end, it makes you also grow. It makes you better, and you learn a lot from them.
Yeah.
And for us, the idea was, okay, we have to tweak our solutions. We have to work on something different and something new. But in the end, it's worth it because they have the economy of scale. So you can actually standardize it up after, and then you can offer it to other customers. And that was actually our strategy at APG. You personalize solution for your top 3, 4, 5 customers. You reach the economy of scale, and then you offer it to more customers by standardizing it.
Copy and paste almost to the mid-market, SME type customers.
So with ASOS, so they always ask us like to be super compliant on their sustainability strategy, and we thought like, okay, let's actually do a bit more. Let's go the extra mile with them. And at some point, we became their R&D, external arm R&D, but without the risk, without the cost of an R&D team. So I remember sometimes we worked on a lot of different projects for them, and same happened for Amazon as well.
Yes.
And sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. But when it doesn't work, then you move on and
I hear you.
You go to the next project.
And how long did it take you to become sustainably compliant? For ASOS, how long was that as a process?
As a process, I think it took us maybe a full year.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And what was was there ever a point where it might not have happened? I.e., was there ever a point you might not have reached compliance? And if so, like what was it that was going to be there?
I think we never really looked at what if.
Yeah.
What if it doesn't work? What if we are not compliant? We always pushed push forward to make sure we actually are fully compliant, not only with the sustainability requirements, but also with the IT requirements, the data, the performance. Another example was with Amazon. We started working with Amazon from different regions, different markets of origin. And the more we were working with them, the more it became really complex, because although it's the same company,
yes,
it's very different teams, very different requirements, different complexities, different projects, but you have the same foundation.
Yeah.
So same KPIs, performance, on-time performance, 98.5%. And if you go down to 98%, it's a big deal for them, you know? So we had to make it work. And we thought, if we can make it work for ASOS, for Amazon, for Boohoo, for the big ones, then it's going to work for the others as well.
Absolutely. And I know you said you used I think you called it an agency, sustainability agency, the same as ASOS. Are you allowed to share who that was?
I can't remember exactly the name of the company, but yeah.
I was just thinking for other people looking to maybe who might have just started this sustainability journey, you know, could have been a good plug. Okay, and I guess where, you know, that's, you know, it's nice to sort of hear about what you've done at APG and stuff, but, you know, Laetitia, now, what is it you're doing at the moment? Like, what's your current focus, and what have you been doing for, like, let's say the last 6 months?
Yeah. So I started consulting for Selectica earlier this year. So I started in January. Selectica is very different from what I've been doing before. So I was more on the logistics cross-border, had also a good period of time at Globally.
Yeah.
So Selectica is more on the pre-purchase, direct-to-consumer experience. Yeah. So it's an AI tool which enrich product data and does personalized recommendations, sizing tool. So it's very much onto the front end of the website. It's a startup, and I learned a lot. I stopped consulting for them now because they have other focus they need to focus more on the US market, etc.
Okay.
And it's a relatively small startup as well. So
are they venture backed, or is it privately owned?
It's private, privately owned, but VC funding.
VC funding.
Yeah,
okay.
VC.
Yeah, I've got
angel investors as well. It's a mix of.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. I want to say, was it Natasha Redfern? Was she at Selectica?
Yes.
She's at THG now. The Hook Group.
No. I don't think she was. There was a Natasha. Yeah, you're right. But I think it was a different name.
Natasha.
Yeah, there was a Natasha before.
There was?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, so I helped them on the go-to-market for the UK, on the marketing side, the sales as well. Yeah. And now I'm consulting for Teleship, which is more a cross-border innovation platform and cross-border shipping platform.
Yes. Yeah.
E-commerce platform neutrals, but very, very easy to plug in with Shopify stores, for instance. And I actually met the founder when he was working at Amazon 10 years ago. I used to work with him while he was at Amazon, and his vision was really to be able to offer the cross-border Amazon delivery standards to all brands, all retailers of any size. So whether you are from the UK or from Europe, but being able to have this frictionless customs experience and customer experience end to end. So dealing with duties and taxes, HS code classifications, performance of deliveries as well. So it's a nice and clever tool. Yeah.
Yeah. And what is it? Is the AI just, I guess, creating the automation side of the duties and taxes and
Yes, it's more like the AI creating the automation. So what maybe you used to do with a team like of I don't know 10, 12 people, now it's AI which does it for you. So automatically it's going to save you time and money as well.
Yes, got you. And how old are Teleship as a company? How long have they been going?
It was created in end of 2023, so just over a year.
Yeah. Wow.
A year and a half.
And what's the goal or vision? They got a sort of set plan to, IPO or to.
I think they want to grow first, of course, because they have a good portfolio of customers in the UK. Next, they want to also start in the US and go further to Europe. And at some point, it's either IPO or acquisition.
Got you.
Yeah, that will be one or the other options.
Yeah. And I was going to say, I know, obviously, just to give Hayley a mention, Hayley Howe, she's just joined, hasn't she?
Yes, she has.
And probably one of the people that connected me and you, to be fair, to be here. So, yeah, it sounds really good in terms of what you're doing at the minute. I guess I want to jump, more into sort of sales philosophy. I know you've obviously walked the walk. So in terms of putting together big enterprise deals or winning enterprise level business, I know you mentioned ASOS. Could you just give your own interpretation as to what it takes to win an enterprise level account today in the current climate in cross-border?
For me, you have 3 different pillars to win an enterprise deal. The first is really to get a good business case, a strong business case. So you need to show the customer, the big company, the retailer, you need to show them the benefits of your solution.
Yeah.
If they don't see it straight away, then there's something wrong. Whether it's something wrong with your product or there's something wrong with your storytelling or the narrative. So you need to change something out of it. But the business case needs to be there, black and white, very crystal clear. So business case means you need to show them that you can do some cost saving for them directly or indirectly.
Yes.
So meaning, okay, you might not be, the cheapest for the solution, but you can actually save some money somewhere else, like on the customer service cost or on the lost in transit cost or anywhere else. Or maybe you have actually more automation with your solution, though that means you need less people. So you need to really give clearly those these piece of information, because otherwise it's not strong enough. And so that's the first thing. Then you need also to build trust among multiple stakeholders, because with enterprise deals, the decision-making process is not like one man stand. It's just across different functions, different departments, and different people usually.
Yes.
And you have and don't discard also like the small contacts, and because they can be super big influencers as well, and very powerful. They can actually make or break the deal as well. So you need to really know your audience and who to speak and when to speak to them, and build that trust. So meaning you need to also speak their language and to adapt your narrative to the person. So when you speak to the CFO, you will probably want to show them, more figures, what it means for them, what benefits, like to his P&L or to his budget. If you speak to an e-commerce director, you need to show him like it's going to drive more revenue, more sales, or it's going to improve the conversion rate. If you speak to an operator or operation director, You need to show him like your solution is going to simplify his day-to-day and not complexify it, you know? So those kind of things, you need to actually include it in the business case.
Yes.
And you need to use it as and when you talk to those different people.
And who would you say some of the smaller stakeholders might be? If you were going to give an example of a small stakeholder.
So the smaller stakeholders could be actually the e-commerce manager who actually contacted you on LinkedIn and said, "Oh yeah, let's do a demo," you know. But this e-commerce manager has no decision power, but he might convince his boss or her boss to actually get on to the demo and drive the conversation. And sometimes those kind of like lower level contacts can be actually super helpful, because they also can become the project manager of this deal. So and usually they are the ones who actually crunch the figures and know probably more information than anyone else around the table.
Carrying a lot of the weight throughout the deal.
Exactly. So that's why sometimes it's actually good to have those kind of people on your side. But also you need to also build your own stakeholders internally, because as much as you want to actually build trust with multiple layers, multiple levels within that company, within the customer side, you need also to have your people also on board. So your CFO, your CEO, and if you need to involve them, it's even more important to align with all the multi-layers. Because that's actually helps a lot when you have multi-interactions.
Got you.
And the third pillar for an enterprise deal, I would say, is the execution and the consistency. So when you sign these kind of contracts, it's only the beginning.
Right.
It's not the end. And sometimes I remember back at Globally is very compartmented in terms of sales process. So you have the lead generation team, you have the sales team closing deals, and you have the onboarding team doing the onboarding and project, and then you have the customer success managers, account management. And sometimes if you don't have a clear communication and handover process throughout this sales process, it can be detrimental to the deal. And the deal can actually, just disappear in between because somehow
somebody's not met an SLA.
Exactly. Or the information got missing, or, because it's so compartmented, then you have more risk actually to have this deal slipping through in a way, while when you still have like the same people from the beginning to the end, it's actually easier to manage.
That's interesting.
And also, I feel like sometimes you also need to really focus on the execution, but also like what happens next. Because they will remember you. People buy from people. And whether you are working for company A or company B, they will actually want to deal with you as Laetitia. So because they trust you, you build that trust. And that trust actually goes from one company to another. It's just, so when you execute well, then when the magic happens, then that's where you actually benefit from it as well. Because from the original scope you agreed and you signed, all of a sudden, after a couple of months of being onboarded and starting very well, then all of a sudden you have like people, your people from the company telling you, can we also work on this? Can we also work on that? It happened, like I remember with the book Depository. I don't know if you're familiar with it. It used to be a big bookseller, which was acquired by Amazon a few years ago. And we built this trust relationship with the key decision maker at the time, and And we managed to actually get their Australian volumes at the time from a broker to get it directly. But few months on, we actually were asked, okay, can you actually deal with our Middle East volumes, and can you deal with this? Or can you? And
all of a sudden,
it became like a major customer.
Yeah,
it was already a big customer, but it became like a massive customer because they thought like, okay, they've done well with this, they've done well with that, and because we've been consistent, because we've been transparent as well, we gave a lot of visibility, and there's this trust as well. Then you actually gain from it without doing much.
They're coming to you almost with the additional volume.
That's how you build also sustainable business and long-term growth, because you don't want just a big enterprise deal and in 6 months' time it's going to disappear because it was very transactional. They probably bought it on for the wrong reason, or they didn't see clear benefits, or they didn't see actually a good execution. So
and who was the book company? Are you allowed to say?
The Book Depository.
Oh,
it's called The Book. The Book
okay.
Depository.
Okay, great.
Now it's part of Amazon. So.
Brilliant. Okay, and then in terms of, I'm going to start with a slight negative, but like in terms of a deal that's fallen through, could you give us an example of, who the company was perhaps, and like at what stage it, what stage it fell through and why? If you were being brutally honest.
Yeah. I have actually a good example. It happened at Globally. And it's not a big enterprise deal. Like, it's an enterprise deal, but it's not like as big as ASOS or Boohoo or Harrods, for instance.
Yes.
But it was a $9 million deal, so still good to
big chunk of change.
Yeah, absolutely, and it was basically the whole sales process went super well. They signed the contract. They were hesitating. They signed the contract still, but then the CFO left.
Oh, okay.
It was a new CFO. Then someone else also left. The chief marketing officer left, and it was also another marketing person.
Yes.
So all of a sudden, you actually have to sell the whole deal again.
Start over.
You have to start over, and then it becomes actually a bit. It becomes a bit more complicated because new people want to actually. When they join a company, they want to actually make a difference and make an impact.
Yes.
So then all of a sudden what you actually signed then is no longer relevant for them. They need a cheaper option, and they're going to always like cut down harder negotiation. Yeah. And in the end, they really just didn't make any decision. They just left it as is.
Oh, really?
And that's how
And then it just fizzled out completely.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, thanks for that. And I guess going on the more positive side then, like, what would you say then the biggest deal you've ever done in your career is, and who was it, and any, highlights from that?
I feel like I'm being in an interview.
It's a very recruitment question.
Yeah, it's a very recruitment question. Yeah. I would say it's either with ASOS or Amazon, because they were like two major titans, major customers for us. And those two actually, for me, they drove us to become better, to be more innovative. Yes. So whatever we were doing with them, it benefited us as well. Yeah. And for me, so we started with Amazon with like maybe a couple of $1 million deal, and it became like a $50 million deal at some point. 50. Yeah, because we had them across different continents, so ex-US, ex-UK, ex-Europe. And then at some point, they wanted us also to look at options for them ex-Turkey. So at some point, when they trust you,
yes,
they just ask you like to do things for them, and that's it. And then the same happened for ASOS. You just need to also know the limits and to maybe define those limits as well, because at some point you can't be also working just for one company.
Yes.
You don't want to work just for Amazon, because it's not, at some point it's not sustainable, and they might change their mind, and every 2 years they change stuff as well. So the trust and the relation you built with 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 persons is constantly changing every 2 years. So you can't rely on just one customer anyway. But yeah, to me, those ones were like the major deals.
Yeah, 50 million's huge, to be fair. And I guess, when we talk about winning enterprise level business, it seems really, relationship heavy, very glossy, very enjoyable, late meals and dinners and whining and dining. But then from a sales mechanics point of view, if you were to almost put it down to like KPIs, what would you, measure a sales enterprise person on in terms of perhaps lead generation or meetings, or, to then say, if you hit these metrics at the other side, there's probably going to be a good enterprise deal to be had?
Yeah, it depends on which environment you are, which company, which type of company, because
yes,
a SaaS company would work differently from a logistics company.
Yeah.
A SaaS company like Shopify or Globally, for instance,
yeah,
they split the roles, the sales functions and the sales process into like different teams.
Yes.
So a salesperson, business development manager wouldn't really do lead generation.
Got you.
So the lead generation team, the SDR team, would actually give them the leads and book the demos.
Yeah.
And then the sales does the demos, the negotiation. Usually you have like some people, also other people and teams involved, and then sign the contract.
Yes.
Hand over to the project team for the onboarding, and then to the customer success manager.
Got
and
it.
That's so for enterprise sales in that kind of environment, you need to do the biggest KPIs is the number of demos.
Got you.
You need to do as many demos as possible to actually get the momentum and to have a constant pipeline filled up to a level where it's gonna be good enough to actually close some of these enterprise deals. Then you have like the big they call it game changer deals, which happen a bit randomly, but also it needs more research. So you kind of do a plan for these kind of big enterprise deals. You need to know who you're talking to, what kind of projects or strategy they are on. If they are looking, for instance, to expand to some different countries, you need to actually be able to come up with showcase some ideas and some solutions for them.
Got you.
Yeah. And then on the logistics side, usually you don't have a lead generation team, or the marketing team actually is doing a bit of this sales function. But you still need to, instead of demo, it's like maybe number of meetings. So you need to actually meet as many people as possible. The idea is to always have different stages on the pipeline, on the sales pipeline, and a lot of CRMs actually have similar stage names, etc.
Yeah.
But the idea is to have a good number of deals within each stage.
Got you.
Because usually what happens is you have like a long list of, unqualified data or very like warmish leads. But then a small number in demo, and smaller number in negotiation, and a smaller number in like contract negotiation. So it's you need to actually have this a constant move towards this sales process and these sales stages. And the idea is to really, as a sales manager, you need to actually follow this sales move to see how many deals actually move from one stage to another, to see the conversion rate per sales as well.
Yes.
And also to look at the length, the time actually takes to close a deal.
Yes.
And in some situations, like for the past 2 years, actually the UK economy has been tough. So the sales cycle has been longer. And pretty much all sales and all companies would tell you like, it's been longer. So if it's longer, then you actually need to get more leads, to generate more leads, to actually try to compensate.
Got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's wishing for the COVID era and the COVID boom back, aren't they, I think, at the minute?
Yeah. Although the COVID was a bit different. Like for me, I was at APG at the time, and it's been our best years. COVID was our best years at APG in terms of revenue and profitability. But we kind of focused more on the existing business we had, the existing customers. Because at the time, it didn't make sense to really prospect. And also, nobody was really used to like Zoom calls and Zoom demos. Now it becomes like a very
common practice.
Very easy. It's the norm for a lot of SaaS companies. But before COVID, it was like, no, you need to go and see customers. So at the time during COVID, we really focused on the existing. We had actually some inquiries as well, which we were open to work on, but really it was more like looking after the existing.
I remember actually
protecting the existing business.
Yeah, and I remember. In fact, before I mention this, I just want to go back to the sales metrics and approaches, because I know you mentioned globally it was all compartmentalized, and then you had, maybe your Asendia or APG, the logistics side, that was more cradle to grave salesperson. Managing the bigger deals. Gun to your head, which would you prefer? Would you prefer a sales org being run in a compartmentalized way, or would you prefer it where you have a team that are managing their sales pipeline from cradle to grave?
I think now I feel like the sales process has changed a bit, and a lot of companies are actually mirroring the SaaS type of sales. So where creating leads and generating leads is actually a full-time role, and now you can actually generate leads with different tools, AI tools as well. So actually you could almost argue that it's part of the marketing team. And I would probably agree on this, but you also need to use your connections. Especially if you are a senior sales, then you have lots of connections. And within the cross-border retailer environment and brand environment, the head of eCommerce and people in general, they kind of move from one brand to another pretty much every 18 months to 3 years in average. So actually you're going to end up working with the same person in a different company. So it's always good to also nurture your connections. And conferences, networking events help as well to create this momentum. But I think compartmentalizing the sales process helps with the momentum. Because you kind of standardize the playbook for each of the functions. And it creates a momentum and more traction. So that's more, you create more efficiencies. But sometimes in logistics, it can't be replicated because you don't have the same structure. But if I had the choice, I would definitely split, like for sure, like the sales and the account management functions, because they are two different skills, two different type of roles. And if you can create the lead generation team as part of the marketing team, then that's probably the best outcome.
And do you think that's down to the fact of like SaaS companies more profitable than logistics companies? Because logistics companies might have that sort of cost of running a network and, having to, purchase a fleet and there's quite heavy costs associated, whereas you could probably say a SaaS company is a bit more asset light. Would you say that's kind of the main difference of, being able to, like what's stopping an Asendia or a APG going and getting a lead gen team and compartmentalizing it?
Yeah, it has some costs involved, that's for sure. But I think it's more a generation issue.
Okay.
Where I would say, I think Asendia has as part of their marketing team, they have actually a lead generation team.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's more also, I guess, the old way of selling. The old way of selling is like, as a salesperson, you were doing everything.
Yeah.
From lead generation, you create your own pipeline.
Yes.
And off you go. You do your demo. You do the negotiation. You account manage sometimes as well. And I think we passed that kind of era. Yeah. I feel like now it's more like, splitting the sales function into different roles.
Yeah.
And also nowadays, if you actually look at some salespeople, young salespeople, if you look at business development managers, they don't know how to create leads.
Yeah.
Or they wouldn't want to. Or they wouldn't want to account manage because it's not their job.
Yeah.
So they need to define, like, they want to have like defined roles.
Yeah.
I'm kind of being nostalgic about, doing your own thing.
Yeah.
Because in a way, like when you actually do your own consultancy and you have your own company, you do everything.
Cradle to cradle.
And that's what I like as well. But I feel like for more efficiencies within a bigger environment, it's good to actually split the roles and split the responsibilities.
It's almost going down like the McDonald's sort of business model, isn't it? Just compartmentalize and scale,
Yeah. But the secret of it and the success to it is to be able to have this clear communication and interaction within those teams, because otherwise it breaks at some point.
All comes crumbling down.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
I hear you. Okay. No, really, thank you for that. Really interesting. And I want to go into more then down like the building out a sales team. So what would you say your biggest challenges have been through building out a global sales team? And before answering it, could you give us an idea of perhaps geographically how big of a sort of team in the past you've had to, hire? Or like what countries perhaps you've sort of covered in your remit?
At the time when I was managing sales teams globally, it was at APG. I had 2 people in the US because we started the US quite late. I was managing the UK European team as well as the global team.
Yeah.
And there were 7 people, six people on the sales and account management side. But then you had also the sales support team, and there were 6 people in Jordan. We had all our back office functions in Jordan at the time. So they need also management. I had the marketing as well. So it was like a couple of people, one in Jordan, one in the UK. And then I had 3 people in Asia and one in Australia. So it was, and actually the challenge there was also some of the teams were just one person covering a lot in one country. And the idea is to really to make them feel part of the team as well, part of the global sales team, and you need to really create those platforms for them to interact and for them to share their experiences and to feel like they belong to the same company and to the same team.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And And in terms of, I guess, in terms of a scenario where, no, let's ignore that. That'll be a good editing point to jump in on. Okay, so building out sales teams. Let me think. Is there any question you'd want me to ask on this?
One thing actually, building a global team is also about bringing cultures, different cultures.
Okay.
And also...
Well, let me ask a question on that then.
Okay.
And then you'll be able to push it in. Okay, great. And I guess, how about the different countries all having perhaps different cultures, expectations, and time zones?
Yeah. So I think creating and scaling a global team, you need diversity in your teams. And you have diversity anyway because of the different cultures and different expectations. So you need to first have like maybe, your playbook and what works universally and worldwide. You use it and you copy paste the model, but you need to tweak and rewrite the narrative to make your value proposition super attractive locally.
Yes.
And that means you need to involve also your teams, your local teams there.
Yes.
So I'm not Japanese, but my team in Japan will actually help me understand the culture and the expectations of those customers in Japan.
Yes.
So, for instance, the customer in Japan, they will want the retailers, they will want a clear understanding of the solution. And for instance, in Korea, they will want to see you 5 times first before anything happens. They say like the five cups of tea. So you have to drink 1 cup of tea with them, second one, 3 times. After 5 meetings, then they kind of open up.
Yeah.
And then they share more information for you to actually be able to work on your business case.
Wow.
In the US, it's very like transactional.
Yes.
So very straight to the point. And learning this through your team is key as well to understand how you navigate and how you adapt your narrative and your offering. Italian people, Italian retailers, they will want to actually deep dive into the details, every technical details of the solution.
Got you.
And they will ask hundreds of questions. In the UK, it's going to be like more straightforward. They're going to look at few KPIs, and if it makes sense, they will sign.
Good case study gets it.
Good case study gets it. Yeah, exactly. But you need to adapt to the expectations of the local market.
Yeah.
But also you need to adapt to your teams. And one good tool I like using is, I don't know if you heard of it, it's the Blanchard leadership model. And basically it says you adapt your leadership style according to the people and according to the situation. So basically it depends on the person's competence and the person's commitment. So you might have a person who is super skilled, but really low commitment. She doesn't want to do it. Then you're going to have to adapt your style, like more like supporting style. Right. Or sometimes you have to coach to be more coaching, or you have to maybe step back and delegate because he knows what he's doing and you don't need to be involved too much. Yeah. Or maybe it's a new person who doesn't know anything. She's very enthusiastic, but you need to really to drive and direct her. That person. So for every situation and each person, you actually adapt your style, leadership style. And that makes you actually a more authentic leader.
Yeah.
But you get actually so much out of various different personalities as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a very good tool to use as a leader.
And did that, so and just remind me, what's the tool called?
It's called the Blanchard leadership model.
Okay. And does that come out of a book or?
It's you can actually buy the book, but it's also like a training you can get for your teams.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So there is an element of like sales management, but there's also sales leadership.
Oh, very cool. Okay, well, I'm going to go more down, I guess, perhaps what you're doing currently. So if you were to be advising a brand today, and who are looking to expand internationally, where would you be suggesting they start?
I think they need to start, especially now with the new regulations, the US tariff change. They feel a bit lost, usually on the retail side. They need to start with compliance and data readiness. So they need to be compliant. They need to know their data. And sometimes even like big retailers, they have so many old stacks, then the data actually don't talk to each other and they don't know where to start. But I would start first on this part. Know your data, make sure it's compliant. And there's so many partners which can help. Actually, Teleship is one of them. Yeah. They can actually use Teleship as their data readiness, custom readiness, and shipping readiness in one click. So there's also some companies like Globally at a more premium price, but they can use these kind of partners to fast track this element. So, okay, you're not compliant, you don't know how to do it, you don't really know your data. Okay, we're going to plug in like a Teleship style tool in your Shopify store. And for you, it's going to be the same customer experience as your domestic customers. And this is the idea. So what you want to do is if you haven't started cross-border and international before, the idea is you don't want to compromise on your customer experience. So your customer experience needs to be similar at the same performance, same level than a domestic customer experience. Yeah. So end to end, and it needs compliance data. So that's like two key elements. Yeah. And then you need also to work on the local feel and local experience. So, but that comes with other tools, other partners. Like Shopify is one of them. As a Shopify store, you can actually use Shopify payments, and part of it have some local payment methods. They can also use different currencies, local currencies, because at the end of the day, when you actually go international, you want to make it easy for your customers, for the consumers behind. So if you are a German consumer and you buy from the UK store, then you want to be able to pay with your local payment methods. Yes. And or pay on payment on invoice, for instance. So that's a very common practice in Germany. And you want to pay in euros. Yes. Not in pounds. And you don't want the duties and taxes surprise at your door. Yeah. You want to give this visibility as a retailer. You want to give the full transparency on the full landed costs. So this is what you're going to get. Either you actually hide it into your product price, or you display it on the checkout as part of the duties and taxes and other shipping costs.
And has there ever been a customer that you've turned up to and they kind of shown you the behind the scenes, what they're working with from a data, compliance, everything like that, and you've almost jaw hit the floor because how are they operating like that? Is there any? Oh yeah. Has there been any crazy customer story that's you're thinking, I can't believe I've just uncovered this? I'm about to save their life.
Actually, I do know a company, Volback.
Ah, okay.
Is a very high-tech, high-end menswear. Yeah. Very cool, actually, what they're doing. So you would think they're on top of everything. Yeah. But yeah, when actually it's about data and operational efficiencies, there's a lot of Excel files crossing and being sent by email to the 3PLs and lots of things you would think nobody is doing it anymore, but yes, it's still very much the case because at some point they have to just make it work with the resources they have, and sometimes also because it's a relatively small team, they don't look back and think like, okay, how can we improve it?
Yeah.
How can we actually make it more efficient, etc. Until actually they meet some partners and they say, okay, why don't you do this like this?
Yeah.
And it triggers sometimes like some good conversations, and they cherry pick like what they want to implement. It's like, okay, I'm going to take this.
What's quick and easy sometimes.
What is quick and easy? This one maybe not. It requires a bit more investment or a bit more analyzing from our side, so let's park it.
Got you.
But yeah, you would be surprised. Even like big customers, like Boohoo, or like Debenhams now a group, they work like they work on some processes. Sometimes you would think, oh, okay,
as if they're doing it that way.
Yeah, exactly. But also sometimes it's part of the reason is also because the teams have changed as well.
Yes.
Some teams have been reduced like down to like from 10 to 5 people. So you also lose a lot of knowledge and a lot of expertise. So compliance, for instance, custom compliance is one expertise actually a lot of those big retailers have a bit lost because they couldn't justify like one full-time person for this. But now they think like, oh, okay, we need to actually deal without it. But now the requirements are even more complex. So they need some kind of external help sometimes as well.
I.e. maybe consultancy that specializes in that part.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. And does that then lead to like missed deliveries and stuff? For retailers mishandling the data and stuff, is that like what are the problems that are knock on from, I guess, bad data or bad,
Yeah, when it's bad data, it can actually start. The bad experience can start very quickly. So when it's bad data, like which is communicated to the customs, then you'll end up with a parcel held in customs, for instance.
Yeah.
When it's bad data, the notification you trigger to your customer might not happen, for instance. So then the customer doesn't know where the parcel is. So that's what we call Wizmo, where is my order? And then it's going to trigger a call to your customer service team.
Yes.
And that's a cost. I remember when I was visiting Amazon customer service in Scotland a few years ago, they were actually telling us one call in their call center cost them €3.
Really?
Yeah, and it's in average it's like a minute long, but sometimes it can be like for anything. I was actually amazed by the standards and the quality of their customer service team.
Yeah,
they could answer like people, even if it had no relevance at all to the order or to the Amazon itself. Like it's sometimes it was so random the question they had to answer. But so it can actually go quickly. Like if you give bad data to your carrier, then you have no visibility on your order.
Yes.
And then it's a bad customer experience.
I noticed that some companies will outsource their customer services, in terms of like contact center, but then some have it in house, and that's part of their like USP or their prop. Have you got any like experience of suggesting maybe one's better than the other? If you were to outsource contact center activity and customer service, or home in-house?
Yeah, I've seen actually fewer customers actually externalizing their customer service team. I've seen recently more like the opposite, like people internalize the customer service team because I think at some point they want to have this front line of employees talking the same way as the company, and sometimes it's difficult to replicate this vision, the values, and the narrative from the company.
Got you.
So so I've seen actually a lot of companies going back to internalizing their customer service team, and not only on the retail side, but also like across different industries.
Yeah. No, I hear you. And I know it's usually closely linked to like a ticketing system.
Yeah.
Have you got any like ticketing software companies that you use, or is that usually just built in-house as well through sort of
No,
IT?
there's actually a lot of different ticketing service companies. Yeah. It skips my mind at the moment. I can't remember the name of it. But it's like a very widely known company. Yeah.
And who uses them? Do you know who, any retailers that use them, or any big logistics companies that use them?
Yeah, I remember at APG we use them as well.
Oh, okay.
DHL is using them.
Yeah.
ASOS is using them. Like, yeah, a lot of companies use this ticketing.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And we'll put it at some point as a juicy extra
exactly.
for people if they need to know, or they can just reach out to you and say, "Hey,
absolutely,
yes, who is that company?"
Yeah, it's somewhere in the back of my mind.
And then I guess like one of the last topics I wanted to cover off is actually selling in a downturn market. So, what would you say is, what would you say are the things you have to be very conscious of, and what approach would you take when you're selling in a downward market at the minute?
The things you need really to be conscious of are, first, you need to be here to help. Mm-hmm. And not push too hard on the sales cycle, because it's actually the best way to lose the opportunity and to lose the deal altogether. But yeah, you need to actually convince them like you're here to help, and showcase, okay, what value it brings.
Yes.
To these customers. So they are on a mission to cut costs, or to reduce some employee counts, mm-hmm. or to get more efficiencies, or to reduce risk. Mm-hmm. Then you need to actually show them how you're going to help them achieve those things. So without talking too much about your price, because at some point they will make the calculation, and they will actually compare your solution with someone else. But you don't need to make that easy for them. You need to actually show them, okay, this is how I can help you cutting costs down by doing this, and helping automating your processes. But with our solution, that means you have like, I don't know, £1,000 every month saved with that. If your delivery solution then has 99% on-time performance, that means you're going to reduce your where is my order calls from your customer service center. And that has a cost as well. So if you actually show them, this is the cost of one call for your customer service team, and this is how much we're going to reduce your number of calls to your customer service, and this is your saving straight from there. Returns is a big topic. It's actually a big cost killer for a lot of retailers and brands today. If you actually tell them, okay, my solution is going to reduce your returns by 10%, 20%, this is a direct impact, positive impact on your P&L, on the bottom line. Yeah. And that's actually what makes people sometimes, oh, okay, this is really good. Yeah. Now you're talking like about something I really need, I really care, and I really want to actually make a difference.
Start 2 birds, 1 stone, 3 birds, 1 stone. It starts to sort of compound. Yeah,
exactly. Then it's also about compliance. Yeah. You want to reduce risk. You don't want to have a penalty fine because you are over the threshold with the de minimis in, like with the new tariff change in the US. You don't want to sell over the threshold with the nexus. So you have like different taxes. And when you reach a certain revenue, you need to pay extra taxes per state. And sometimes retailers don't really know about it and how to implement it. And they're going to actually receive more and more fines because they're going to, like the customs in the US will actually get more onto those people who actually don't pay the right amount of taxes.
Got you.
So you want to reduce this risk as much as possible. So that's how a solution A, B, or C can help.
Got you.
Or you could also say it's going to increase your sales. You want to actually increase your revenue. You want to increase the number of people who actually get on your website. Or you want to increase the average basket value, for instance.
Yes.
And that's where you can also, drive them towards like, okay, this is the solution which will help you to actually, make your numbers achievable for your board meeting next month,
And I guess, like, what are you running into, for international cross-border? What are you actually running into at the minute as, like, let's say the main reason someone wouldn't, change who they're using for international cross-border? You're talking retailers.
Yeah. A lot of time it's because they don't really want to change the way they've been working, and they think like it's going to take time.
Yeah.
The integration is going to take long, and sometimes it's really to be able to convince them that no, actually the integration takes a few minutes.
Yeah.
I can help you with. You don't need an external technician or IT to actually help you doing this integration. That's actually one of the bigger blockers.
Got you.
But also, it's like, okay, try. You can try a few items and
see how it goes.
You see how it goes, and you don't need like a 2 years commitment.
Yes.
So that's where you can help them making those decisions, because during downturns, what I saw is a lot of people just stagnate, and it's and they don't make any decision. It's like
almost a cost of not making a decision.
It's exactly, and sometimes you need them to realize it's a bigger cost not to make any decision, especially in this automation momentum with AI, etc. Then we're going to see more AI implemented as well within the supply chain, within the delivery, the logistics world as well. It's happening already, but we're going to see it more and more. So by not making any decision, they're already behind.
Well, I think there'll be a few salespeople listening in, and I think maybe that key bit of advice: just get some small commitment. First, and then see if you can grow it from there, because as you say, it just takes all the pain away of all the perception of like big integrations and stuff if you can handle it quickly. So amazing advice, and it's been an absolute pleasure having you on.
Thank you, Joey. It's been a real pleasure for me too.
And we'll have to do it again sometime as well.
Absolutely.
In the future.
Because there's more coming soon. I'm gonna stop consulting for a bit coming September, but
there we go.
I will let you know in time.
Big reveal coming soon. Watch this space.
Thank you.
Thanks.